Hello there and welcome back to my channel. Firstly, a very happy new year to you all. I hope you had a really lovely Christmas or happy holidays, whichever way you chose to celebrate. We had a really quiet Christmas. In fact, we didn't celebrate it at all, which I'll discuss in a little while. But today I just wanted to give you a bit of a channel update really and my plans for this year, because I think the Christmas break obviously gives you a time to reflect really, doesn't it? Well, it certainly does for me. I really like to sort of focus on the next year generally, to lay out some plans and decide which way to move forward. So at the end of last year, or towards the end of last year, I was accepted onto the YouTube Shorts partnership, which was really nice actually. It's, you know, validation for your time and effort that you put into your channel, and mine's been going for around 7 or 8 years now, and it's a small channel. It's always been a small channel, and you know, it's really difficult at times to keep going in terms of motivation when you don't see kind of a lot of growth happening really. So yeah, it was just really nice to have YouTube say, you know, we think you're doing a good job. But although it's really lovely to get some acknowledgement for my shorts, long form content is what I'm much more interested in doing really. And I think I've reached a decision where I'd like to almost professionalise my channel a bit more. I've been having a look at the old analytics, which, you know, it's good to do now and again. And for me, it's really clear that most people prefer to see either tutorials or process videos on my channel. So, you know, that's certainly given me food for thought really. So although I've been making the odd studio vlog here and there and other bits and bobs, I think I'd rather put the time and effort into making evergreen content, if you like. So, you know, people come back and watch it sometime after you've made that content, because I know a lot of my videos, once I put them out, you'll now get some views for the weekends and that's it. They're basically never watched again. So yeah, it's given me a lot to think about really. So I think moving forward, what I'd like to do is make more tutorials. So hopefully that'll be good news for you if you're interested in polymer clay and you know, taking your skills forward with that. And also my process videos, because I really enjoy making those. It's basically where I make a piece of my own work and I'll narrate the process and, you know, other stuff that's going on in my life over the top of the videos. So I think maybe what I'll do is start showing perhaps a bit more of the process, just to keep people a bit more interested, and just see where it goes from there really. I am still interested in keeping a calm, creative space on YouTube. As you'll know if you've watched any of my videos, I try and keep them kind of low-key and kind of relaxing in tone, so I've no plans to change that if that's what you're here for. I just find watching a lot of other artists' videos on YouTube that I'm immediately more drawn to those that are kind of a bit more reserved in tone. I just find a lot of the high energy videos, although they obviously have an audience because they, you know, they do really well in some instances, I just find them really difficult to kind of concentrate on. So I, for instance, watch a lot of YouTube videos in the background while I'm working in the studio. So, you know, I need something that's kind of comfortable to kind of listen to while I'm working. So, you know, I just want to be part of that club really. And in terms of shorts, I'll still be making shorts as we go on, but I was uploading one a day up until the end of last year, because I just really wanted to get to 10,000 subscribers. And with shorts, you tend to attract a few more kind of viewers really, or a few more subscribers, but what I've noticed is that they don't tend to stick around and watch your other content. So I think in moving forwards, I'm going to be making maybe 3 shorts a week and a long form video on a Friday as well. So if you've any suggestions, incidentally, of what you'd like to learn to make with polymer clay, by all means let me know, and I'll certainly give that some consideration. And yeah, I've just got lots of ideas for process videos as well, of, you know, various project work that I want to make this year. So hopefully there'll be something in there for everybody. So anyway, the reason why we didn't celebrate Christmas is that I've been really poorly for the last few months, and regular viewers will know that I've got a chronic illness, and I was diagnosed with functional neurological disorder around 5 years ago. And for me, it manifests itself in being allergic to food, and the vast majority of food at that. And when I first got really ill, I was down to just 3 foods. It was chicken, avocado, and sweet potato. And as time's gone on, I've been gradually able to incorporate more foods, but certainly not very many at all. But just before Christmas, I got down to around 10 foods. And I'm just noticing that I'm getting more and more triggers environmentally, chemicals, makeup, all sorts of stuff really. So I'm at a point now where I'm absolutely certain I've got a condition called mast cell activation syndrome, and you've probably never heard of it. It's little known about, certainly here in the UK. I think other countries are doing much better. I think the US and France, I think, have a far better understanding of it, and it's just become really difficult. Basically, MCAS, or mast cell activation syndrome, is it creates like a hyperimmune response to various triggers, and they can change at the drop of a hat. So you can be allergic to one thing one day, then a week later you're kind of fine with it. So for me, I get a lot of neurological pain. I get like a really horrible burnt tongue. My eyes get unbelievably sore, and gosh, there's all sorts of stuff. I've been having a lot of problems with my bladder recently, and this all ties in with the diagnosis of MCAS. And actually, there's been a really good article on the BBC website recently about 2 people that have just had their diagnosis. I think long COVID triggered, or COVID triggered their MCAS. But I think looking back, I've had the condition for quite some time, but it just really manifested itself about 5 years ago. Now, in terms of support, the NHS here in the UK is really brilliant for a lot of illnesses out there and conditions. Although arguably they're going through a really tough time recently. Their staff are walking out because they're, chronically underpaid, and the conditions are, horrific in some medical practices. And there's a strike here at the moment actually for junior doctors, and I absolutely don't blame them. But anyway, that's enough political talk for today. But the NHS is really dreadful with a lot of conditions, and in particular invisible illnesses where, somebody looks fine, but underneath they're going through a whole lot of stress and pain. And certainly MCAS is one of those, and in fact the NHS doesn't really recognise it as a condition, so it's near impossible to get a diagnosis, which is just so frustrating. I've been in tears so many times about it. But yeah, it basically forces people to have to seek private doctors, and it seems so unfair that chronically ill people are barely able to work, and if they can't afford private care, as I can't, certainly at the moment, then it's just impossible, isn't it? It's so difficult. What are you supposed to do for medication if you need it? I've tried to speak to my GP about it, but she just doesn't have a clue about the condition by her own admission, so she doesn't really know what she's looking for. She has referred me to an immunology department. I've got that word right because I often trip over it. And I know that this particular hospital has a dreadful reputation for MCAS, so I know it's going to be an absolute waste of time if I even get an appointment, because if you mention MCAS, they basically don't want to know. It's so frustrating, isn't it? What on earth are you supposed to do if you're ill? I take a whole load of supplements because I have to, just to function. There's basically some natural mast cell stabilizers that you can take, like vitamin D, selenium, all sorts of stuff actually. There's a few that I take, and they kind of manage the condition to a certain extent for most of the time. Obviously, if I'm in a flare, that's a different story. I also take a load of antihistamines as well, just to manage the condition, but I'm at a stage now where, you know, I can't hold off getting some pharmaceutical help for much longer, because I know that this is basically a progressive illness. So yeah, I'm going to have to really think about how I can, you know, get in to see a doctor this year, because yeah, I'm going to have to. But anyway, I just wanted to give you an update as to where I am. Thankfully, I've been able to make some little tutorials throughout December, so that was really helping me to keep going. You know, it's really hard when you're poorly that you're not able to do a whole lot of work, but yeah, it was just really nice to be able to do something on a weekly basis that helped me kind of stay creative, really. So hopefully, as you know, as time goes on, I'll start feeling better. But that's the state of play at the moment, really. And also, I'm just really trying to think of kind of long-term ways to be able to support myself, because I'm not in a position like I used to be able to, you know, go off and get some temp work here and there, or part-time work to kind of support my creative work as well. So I'd really like long term for YouTube and you know, other stuff online to be able to bring in like a proper income, really. So I'm just praying to the universe gods that, you know, my channel um, does a bit better than it has been, shall we say. So anyway, next week I'll be uploading my wedding cake topper tutorial as a full tutorial, because I've got it in 4 parts at the moment, and I don't know whether having separate videos is a bit off-putting for people, because I know, or I've noticed that people are watching parts 1 and maybe 2 and then giving up. So maybe having a full tutorial there might be a bit less daunting for some people. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. So there'll be new content from the week after next. So yeah, as I say, let me know your ideas for content, any tutorials, or even kind of process videos of any famous people that you'd like to see me make. By all means, let me know down below. And yeah, wishing you just a really happy, peaceful and creative and healthy new year. So until my next video, take care, and I'll see you soon.